Hey everybody, this is Alan with Rigoletto Music, and today I'm going to talk about how you can bring more life to your strumming on the acoustic guitar. When you're first getting comfortable with strumming chords, you might feel like you're playing the rhythms perfectly, you're changing the chords really well, but it's still not something that feels musical. Like it's not groovy, it doesn't get people moving. So you can do a very simple adjustment to how you're playing these strumming patterns that can really help to liven up what you're playing. Before we dive into a strumming pattern, let's look at the right wrist. It is really crucial to have a loose right wrist when you're strumming. You can play rhythms really well with a stiff right wrist, but when you loosen up, you can just start to make your strumming sound so much more musical. With a stiff right wrist, see how all of the motion is coming from my elbow and nothing is going on here with my right wrist. Now, if I loosen up my right wrist, see how I still have that same motion coming from my elbow, but my wrist is moving a little bit more. One thing you can do to help improve the looseness of your right wrist is a very simple exercise that doesn't even require you to play the guitar. Just hold your right elbow up to about the height of your right shoulder and let your hand hang loosely, just like this, just with a little tiny bit of a bend in the wrist. Then simply move from the elbow and let your wrist move like this, kind of like a pendulum. This should require very little to no effort in the wrist at all. This is what you want to be feeling when you're strumming. So just do this. Maybe you want to hold the pick in your hand. And this is a simulation of what you want your strumming to be like when you're actually playing the guitar. Now, to look at what we're going to do to liven up our strumming, we're going to take a very simple strumming pattern. If you're playing more advanced strumming patterns than this, that's okay. You can still apply the same principles to that. This strumming pattern is essentially one of the first strumming patterns I teach all of my students. It's very basic. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Right? And if I were to count that, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. It's a very basic strumming pattern. Notice that the way I'm playing it right now, it sounds pretty flat. Right? The rhythm is all there, but nothing sounds particularly exciting or musical about it. So what I'm going to do with this strumming pattern is I'm going to accentuate the first and the third beats. These are called strong beats, and it's very common to hear them on the 1 and the 3. The way I'm going to accent these strums is simply by adding just a little extra wind up and snap to my wrist. This is why it's so crucial to have a loose wrist when you strum. It looks like this. Okay? So a normal strum would look more like this. But here I wind up and give it a little bit extra snap. What I'm going to do is bring out beats 1 and 3. So take a listen. And with counting, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. Right away, your strumming will have more life to it. If you're struggling with the physical aspect of trying to accentuate the first and the third beat, it's really helpful to try to count this out loud and maybe include a clap while you're doing it. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. One variation on what I was just talking about that's pretty common is bringing out the 2 and the 4 as strong beats. So if I were to count and clap, it would sound like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. On the guitar, it sounds like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. If you're not entirely sure which beats are the strong beats in the song that you're trying to play, It's really helpful to clap along with the song without the guitar and just see where you can find the strung beats lie. You might naturally feel that you start to clap louder on the 1 and the 3 or the 2 and the 4. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was able to help you liven up your strumming patterns a little bit. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and please be sure to subscribe to Rigoletto Music. I'll have plenty more videos coming out, so see you soon.